You ever walk out of your neurologist's office feeling like you nailed it? You sat there nodding, taking it all in, and then 5 minutes later, you're in the parking lot thinking, wait, what just happened in there? Did I even ask the one question I need answered? Yeah, I've been there. I did that for 3 years. And you know what it cost me? Hundreds of hours of feeling good that I didn't have to lose. So today we're going to fix that. We're talking about the 5 medication questions that could totally change your Parkinson's treatment because when you ask the right questions, you get better results, better understanding, and better days. And stick around to the end because I've got two Bryce-isms in this one. One's funny with some science behind it, and the other, well, let's just say it hits you in the heart.
Welcome to Living with Parkinson's. The good, the bad, and the reality. Real talk, real life, real community with Bryce Perry. Let's begin.
Well, welcome back, friends. If you're new here, my name is Bryce, and this is Living with Parkinson's, the good, the bad, and the reality. Now, this podcast is all about bringing strength, hope, and community to people living with Parkinson's and their care partners with a mix of real talk, science made simple, and let's be honest, hopefully a few laughs along the way. So if that sounds like something you need, hit that subscribe button and join us. Now, before we jump into the questions, let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body. Okay? Levodopa is basically your brain's stand-in for dopamine. It's the lead singer of the Parkinson's band. The problem is its half-life is about 90 minutes, meaning it burns through your system faster than your first cup of coffee on a Monday morning. Your brain converts it into dopamine, but only after it gets through your stomach, your intestines, your blood, and finally crosses the blood-brain barrier, which is like airport security for your neurons. And if your stomach's busy digesting breakfast, or if you've got protein and iron cutting in line, your poor levodopa stuck waiting with its shoes off and a belt in a tray. All right, let's get into the questions that actually matter, the ones your doctor wishes you'd ask. Here's question number 1. How do I know if my dose is still right or if my brain's just changing? Okay, when I was first diagnosed, I thought, okay, they'll give me a dose and that's my dose forever. Spoiler alert, you know this. Nope. For years, I thought my meds had stopped working. My stiffness came back earlier in the day. My tremor crept in mid-afternoon, and I thought, well, there it is. I'm just getting worse. It's Parkinson's. But I wasn't getting worse. My brain was changing. So here's the science part. As Parkinson's progresses, your brain stores less dopamine. Imagine like a sponge that used to hold a cup of water, but now it only holds like a half a cup of water. The medicine's the same. The sponge just can't soak up as much. So what used to last 5 hours now maybe only lasts 3. Now that's not failure, it's just chemistry. And once I learned that, my doctor and I adjusted the timing. Not more pills, just smaller spacing. It's like tuning a guitar. Same strings, just a tighter rhythm. And that made all the difference. So if you've been thinking that your meds don't work anymore, don't panic. Ask your doctor this: has my brain changed or does my schedule need to? That question can save you a ton of frustration. Okay, question number 2. Could any of my other meds or supplements be messing with my Parkinson's meds? Okay, now this one's a game changer, and it's one that hardly anyone asks. Now, I used to take my levodopa, my iron supplement, and my morning protein shake all at once. Basically, I was like throwing a block party in my stomach and then wondering why nobody was getting through the door. I thought just maybe the bouncers were keeping them out, but no. Here's what's happening. Levodopa has to hitch a ride on the same transport truck as amino acids and iron to get absorbed. So if your breakfast is full of protein, or you're taking iron, it's like 15 trucks trying to merge into a 1-lane highway. Dopamine's sitting there in traffic honking, like, let me go, let me in. Even caffeine can play games with dopamine metabolism. It speeds it up, which is why you might burn through your meds faster on those high energy days and high coffee days. And certain antidepressants and blood pressure meds can interfere too. So, best advice, just bring your full list of prescriptions, supplements, even over the counter stuff to your neurologist. Don't guess, because sometimes it's not that your levodopa is broken, it's just being bullied by your vitamin shelf. And I remember this other time, cough medicine. I don't know if you know this or not, but like there's different types of things that you need to kind of regulate with. Levodopa you can take with a lot of things, but there are things that mixing up the timing of it with the other meds can be concerning. Not concerning, but just make your levodopa not work as well. So what I do is, if I'm got cough medicine or I've been going through that, or if my general doctor, my family doctor has prescribed me something, I make sure I take it with me to my appointments every time, just so my neurologist can see it. He can go through it, look at it, and he can kind of advise me if there's any concerns or if concerns on timing or anything like that. So that's a big tip. That's a power tip. All right, and if you have ever left a doctor's office and thought, "Oh, what an idiot! I totally forgot that." Maybe you're not as hard on yourself as I am, but what a silly, but what I just can't believe I didn't ask that question. Me too in the comments, please. Because you know me, it's all about me making myself feel not so bad. Anyway, let's move on to question number 3. What can I do when my meds start wearing off early or are taking longer to kick in? Now, this one hit me hard. For years, I'd feel my meds wearing off and I'd immediately pop another pill like I was rebooting a frozen laptop. I didn't even realize there was a better way, and I told you a lot about this in the last episode. But here's the deal. When you start noticing the off periods where the symptoms creep back in before your next dose, and that's your cue to talk to your doctor. It might mean adding an inhibitor or enhancer or adjusting timing or splitting doses. Now, here's some science. Wearing off happens because your body clears levodopa faster as dopamine buffering decreases. Think of it like a bathtub that used to hold water for hours, but now it drains faster. You're refilling it more often, not because you're broken, it's just because the plumbing's changing. Now, the delayed on issue, that's usually digestion. If your stomach's busy or you've eaten a big meal, your pill's just sitting there thinking anytime now. And on those days, I'll wait longer after eating or take my meds with fizzy water. Carbonation helps move it along faster. Or break it up, bunch it up, smash it up. It gets in there quicker. And then there's Carmen. She's turned this whole process into an Olympic sport of coordination. She's got alarms on her phone, backup alarms on mine, and if she's out, I'll get texts all the time say, take your pills now, take your pills now. It's teamwork. And speaking of that, here's something Carmen wanted me to read to you as part of Carmen's Care Partner Corner. I asked Carmen what she wanted other care partners to know about helping with medications, and she actually wrote this down for me to share with you. When it comes to helping Bryce with his meds, I've learned it's not about being in control. It's about being in sync. Early on, I thought I could just remind him here and there. But Parkinson's doesn't care about reminders. It's all about rhythm. So now I've got alarms on my phone too. When his goes off, mine does too. And if I'm not at home, I'll send him a quick text. Hey, meds, honey. Sometimes he already has. Sometimes he's about to. And sometimes, well, let's just say Parkinson's brain had other plans. The point is, we tag team it. It's not about babysitting. It's about backing each other up. And here's the other part. Grace. So much grace. There are days when the timing's off, or he forgot, or I forget, or we both think the other one's got it covered. You can't get mad at that. It's not forgetfulness, it's Parkinson's. So if you're a care partner, my advice is this. Don't just set reminders, build systems. Don't just manage symptoms, build patience. And celebrate the wins. If you both get through a full day of meds on time, that's a high five moment. Awesome. Thank you, Carmen. That's Carmen. Practical and funny and somehow always right. All right, here's question number 4. How will I know if what I'm feeling is dyskinesia, and what can we do about it? Ah, yes, the bonus dance feature. The first time it happened, I thought, well, look at me. I'm getting my cardio in without even leaving the chair. That joke wore off really quick. Here's the science. Dyskinesia isn't your medicine breaking you. It's your brain getting too much dopamine at once. It's like turning up the volume too high. The song's still good, but now the speakers are shaking and distorted. This is where your doctor can smooth it out by splitting doses, adding slower release options, or adjusting timing. That's really important. It actually leads me into what I have a Bryce-ism right here. So this is your first Bryce-ism. You get a bonus one today. This is an early one. There's another one coming later, but here it is. Levodopa doesn't cause Parkinson's to progress, but the fear of levodopa can cause your life to stop progressing. Ooh, that's a shout out to someone who's delaying their medication starting. Okay, and that one hits me personally. I was scared of dyskinesia. Like when I heard about it, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But I had already started my meds, so I'm like, "Oh man, what did I do here? Did I start too soon? Did I not start too soon?" Oh man, I was freaking out. I was like, "What's happening?" And when I finally realized that taking my meds early and right off the bat, I was going to save myself wasting time, wasting good years, waiting to feel bad enough to start my meds. So, like in everything else, it's time to be proactive, not reactive. Don't wait until you feel you're bad enough to take levodopa at all. So, ask your doctor now, not later. How do we know when to adjust for dyskinesia before it gets worse? And I promise you, you'll be glad you did. I'm not even going to answer that. I'm going to let that sit there for your doctor. Okay? And question number 5. What should I be watching for that tells us it's time to adjust my whole plan, not just my meds? Now, this one's the most important and the easiest to miss. There was a time when I thought I had everything figured out. Perfect med schedule, diet, exercise. I was like the model patient. And then I started feeling like garbage. Turns out I wasn't sleeping. I was dehydrated and my stress was through the roof. My meds weren't failing. My maintenance plan was. Here's the thing most of us don't realize. Dopamine isn't just movement. It's mood, motivation, and even digestion. And when those systems get off, everything feels off. So if your on periods are shorter or you're feeling more anxious or fatigued, don't just ask about the pills. Ask, what else could be throwing my dopamine balance off? Your doctor might look at sleep hygiene, hydration, gut health, even cortisol levels. It's like fine tuning a whole orchestra now, not just the violin. And for those of you managing the solo, I see you. You're juggling meds, you're juggling meals, life, and probably a dozen alarms. And you're still here and you're still showing up. And that takes grit. So here's your challenge this week. At your next appointment, take one of these questions, just one, and ask it. Write it down and say, I heard this on a video, on a podcast, and I really want to understand it better. That's one question. That one question can completely change your treatment journey. So which one of these 5 questions are you going to ask at your next appointment? Drop number 1 to 5 in the comments. And care partners, what's your best system for managing medication chaos? And here we go. You made it. You did it again. Here is your final Bryce-ism for the day. With Parkinson's, your doctor has half the picture. You hold the other half. The goal is to start coloring it in together. Because Parkinson's might be unpredictable, but how we manage it doesn't have to be. All right. You know the drill. Like the video. Share it with somebody you think might need this. Thank you for everything you're doing. And if you're new here and you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. You're already one of the crew. All right. And until next time, keep showing up. Keep being real. keep laughing, and you keep doing life today.
Parkinson's may be part of your life, but it doesn't get to define it. Thanks for listening to Living with Parkinson's, the good, the bad, and the reality. If this episode moved you, helped you, or reminded you you're not alone, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Want to go deeper? The Inner Circle is waiting. Monthly Zoom calls, 24/7 community, and a direct line to Bryce. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, keep showing up and keep doing life today.